we're always looking to make good, positive change. So after seeing all the unrest and the demonstrations that were being held nationwide, the city looked at that as an opportunity to get some of our key stakeholders, our citizens, our business members, our community leaders involved on a committee that would review the police department's policies.
I think that this gave us an opportunity as a community to come together and have our voices heard collectively. So I thought that the timing of the ask was important to issues that were taking place in the nation, and saw this as an opportunity, almost as a duty to our community.
I've served as a juvenile court judge and been on that end of the system where cases were coming into my courtroom. And so it was really an opportunity to take all the things that I've learned throughout my career and my life and really try to make a difference for our community right here in Greenville.
We had a lot of different perspectives and different backgrounds, all of us on the committee. And I tried as best I could to look at each policy and each recommendation through my own lens, which is that of a white female with a white son and former prosecutor, now defense attorney, and through the lens of my friends who I've talked to about what they've seen in the public and what they've seen with the shootings, and that fatigue with it and that fear and sadness. So I tried to bring sort of a different perspective and approach it looking through both lenses to the best of my ability.
Because of just my background as an attorney and as a litigator, and then also being involved with police liability cases, I felt that I had kind of a perspective and also just a keen interest in hopefully ensuring that we're doing everything that we can to, maintain those ideals of transparency, accountability, access for citizens, and trust, and then awareness.
When we started this process, we realized that while Greenville has not had the high-profile cases like we've seen on the news, there certainly have been some challenges. And no matter where the cases happen, the trust issue is transferable. And so I may know the police officer here in Greenville, but when I see what's happening on the news, I think twice about when a police car gets behind me, or when I would unfortunately have to call the police because of an emergency, and that shouldn't be.
I was glad to be able to learn about the Public Safety Citizens Review Board. So what we did is we asked that every complaint be given a sequential number so that nothing slips through the cracks. Even if it turns out to be something that's dismissed or withdrawn, that it would be logged, and that the Public Safety Citizens Review Board would get it on their list. And we were provided the list of everything that they had looked at with the dispositions, I'm sure with some confidentiality there.
Community policing was one of them. There's so much research that says if you know the people in the service area that you are patrolling, you're less likely to either have to use force or even want to use force, and so this idea of really getting to know and becoming a part of the community is something we really tried to emphasize.
Every time an officer pulls their firearm from the holster, there's a sensor that automatically activates the camera and the cameras of everyone within a 25-foot radius. Different angles, different perspectives, and the hope is that you can see all of what is going on. And so that's great for both sides. That's great for law enforcement because it's recorded and documented. It's great for the public because they have a sense of this is not voluntary. The camera will be activated and we're going to see what really happens.
We also thought about the Permanent Public Safety Citizens Review Board and its makeup, and there was an age restriction there. We recommended that that age restriction be removed or at least lowered so that young people who are encountering the police would have a feeling that they have some representation on that board. Policing is not just patrolling in the car. There are investigators. There are people who log and handle evidence. There's crime scene investigation. There's detective work. There are many levels of policing that I don't know that the public or young people are fully aware of.
It's probably a lot better career than people think, than people might think without looking into it. You know, it's like so many things are going on in the world that we think we know what's going on, but we might be misinformed or ill-informed or just not informed. And you know, so there's benefits, there's it's a career track.
We're talking about creating new avenues and a new type of engagement, and that will only happen with new voices and perspectives. And you don't have to major in criminal justice to be a police officer. We need more people with mental health backgrounds, more people who have majored in social work, more people who are just community advocates or organizers. That's who we need in the Greenville Police Department.
I think we've started the process. I think we have to keep going. They've done some great things around recruitment, but I think until you build the trust to a level where people feel confident that, you know, this is a good, I have respect for the position. I would love to be the person in that position. I think it's going to be tough.
And we need leaders like I think we have now that are going to maintain that accountability to see to it that we have a good law enforcement force. You know, it's going to be hard to be perfect, but you know, you want it to be as good as it can be, and to be, you know, and always be improving if it can be improved upon.
I applaud the City Council, I applaud the Mayor for taking this step, because not a lot of jurisdictions are doing this. And it is a step of faith, realizing that I think there's a lot of confidence that the city has in its police department, but also realizing that it could be better and that there is this lack of trust. And so you can't ask much more from public officials and leaders than to say, okay, you look at it and come back to us with your recommendations. So I applaud them for this.
I feel like we made some pretty good progress and some good recommendations. It does not stop here. It is truly the beginning, but people can come together and change things and listen and do it in a way that is respectful and something you can be proud of.
We have a lot that's going positive for us. One of those positive things is a city council that's thinking about tomorrow as well as today. Appointing this panel was something that was tremendously using foresight. And I think that this is a good opportunity for us, and for us to be able to continue to build on that will require the community to be engaged and to lift their voices as a part of this process.
We need to be more transparent with the citizens here in Greenville and our public. We have developed a new online reporting system that allows us to communicate information and data that's gathered here at the police department, which includes the training of police officers, use of force, and the calls for service. And this information, we'll break that down. We're going to report that out annually. We're starting with a 5-year report, and it is going to be right here online at the Greenville Police Department website.